السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما يا رب العالمين. Today I want to share with you a very important dua, and it's a supplication that maybe we've never ever thought about or we've mentioned. And for you and I, it's more prevalent than ever for us to practice this dua. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, he reports, as narrated in Jami' al-Tirmidhi, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he would make this supplication that Allahumma matti'ni bisam'i wa basari waj'alhuma al-waritha minni وانصرني على من يظلمني وخذ منه بثأري. That, oh Allah, allow me to enjoy my hearing and my eyesight. Allow me to enjoy my hearing and my eyesight, meaning don't take it away from me. Let me use these senses until I pass away. Make it وَاجْعَلْهُمَ الْوَارِثَ مِنِّي. Make it an inheritor for me, meaning that it lasts until I live. Let me enjoy these senses. How difficult is life when our hearing goes, our sight goes, our taste goes. So make it an inheritor so that as long as I live, I continue with these. Then وَانصُرْنِي عَلَى مَنْ يَظْلِمُنِي. Allah, help me against those who oppress me. Oh Allah, help me against those who oppress me. وَخُذْ مِنْهُ بِثَأْرِي. And take vengeance of mine for me. And so when we look, I want to focus on this first part of the dua and the supplication. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's created us in such a way that He created us from weakness, from feebleness. And then He gave us strength. And once again, He will return us to that weakness. And this is a sign to prove His existence. He says, Allahu alladhi khalaqakum min ضعف ثم جعل من بعد ضعف قوة ثم جعل من بعد قوة ضعفا وشيبة يخلق ما يشاء وهو العليم القدير. That Allah has created you from weakness. When we came out the womb, our senses were not there, they developed. Then when they started developing, we started walking, then we came to a point, a peak in our life. We were peak in our strength, we were peak in our intellect. And then we end up returning to a stage in our life where our health, it starts to deteriorate. Our intellect, we start forgetting things. And our looks, they begin to degrade. And this is a reminder and a reflection for Allah, for us, that Allah has created us. And Allah, we will return to Allah, and Allah will resurrect us. Allah says in another verse, Ya ayyuhan nas in kuntum fi raybin min al-ba'th. That, oh people, if you are in doubt of me resurrecting you, just remember how you were born. Inna khalaqnakum min turab. We created you from sand, from dust. Thumma min nutfa. Then you were in this form of a sperm. Thumma min alaqa. Then you were in the embryo. Thumma min mudgha. Then you were in the form of a flesh. Mukhallaqatin wa ghayri mukhallaqa. Either fully formed or incomplete. ثم من مخلقة لنبين لكم ونقر في الأرحام ما نشاء إلى أجل مسمى. Then we kept you in the womb for a specific period of time. ثم يخرجكم طفلا ثم لتبلغوا أشدكم. Then you came out as a child, and then we gave you ثم لتبلغوا أشدكم. Then you reach your peak stages. ومنكم من يتوفى ومنكم من يرد إلى أرض العمر لكي لا يعلم بعد علم شيئا. Some children, they don't last. وَمِنْكُمْ مَنْ يُتَوَفَّى. They pass away. وَمِنْكُمْ, some of you, يرد إلى أرذل العمر. You reach that senile age لكي لا يعلم بعد علم شيئا. That you reach that age, at one point in your life you had so much memories, everything was strong, but now everything is beginning to become senile. You're beginning to forget. This is a proof that Allah, He created you from nothing, from weakness. He gave you strength, and He will once again, He gives you that stage again. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, once again, He will, after you pass away, He will resurrect you as well. Just the way He gave you those different stages of life. And so it's for you and I to reflect and remember, and I just want to make this point that when we make these du'as, there will come to a point in our life, either we will go through it, and for our parents that also exist, they will go through this too. And unfortunately, in this day and age, we live in a period of selfishness. We live in a period of selfishness where we're all egotistical. We're all about how can I make myself the one. Everything is self-centered around me. And subhanAllah, when you look at it, we need to have this approach that us as children, our parents will go through this maybe whilst we're still living. And sometimes there may be in a point in our life where we will have to take care of our parents. And so we make this dua that, oh Allah, allow me to utilize my senses so that I'm not dependent on anyone. One of Allah's name is He's the Al-Ghani. Allah is independent. He's the rich, He's the independent. But us as humans, sometimes we will become dependent on people. But first and foremost, we make this dua that, oh Allah, don't allow me to, as much as I can within my ability, don't allow me to become a burden on someone else. But then on the other side of the coin, that we may need to. We may need to take care of our parents later on in life once we're married. And so it's important that we don't center our lives, everything around us, but we be other-centric as well, that one day we may need to look after our parents, and this is a great ajr. This is a great reward. We should take care of our parents. But also from a parent's point of view, that we don't want to become a burden on our children as well. That when, sometimes in many of our cultures, we have so many kind of practices where we become a burden upon our sons, daughter-in-laws, and things like that. We don't let them live their lives. So it's important where we strike this balance, where we take care of our family, our in-laws, our father-in-laws, mother-in-laws. But we also, as an in-law, as a father-in-law, mother-in-law, we don't try to burden our sons and our daughter-in-laws as much as we can. And so it's about striking that balance. We are ummah wasata, we are the middle people. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the understanding. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to use these senses as much as we can, to give us independence as much as we can. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us in our health and give us long lives. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين.